Should I try an elimination diet if my child has skin rashes?
So, elimination diets are something that I do not recommend in my clinical practice. And this is such an important question. And I really want to emphasize this because it's one of the first interventions that people go to when there are skin rashes. It's an elimination diet. And it's probably one of the biggest mistakes that I see people making. And I know it's often recommended by conventional and holistic practitioners. So, it's not your fault. And I really am passionate about people knowing that food is not the root cause of the problem, which is why elimination diets have not solved the problem, certainly not long term. And they can cause a bunch of other problems too, like lack of nourishment for your child and stress, anxiety, and depression for you as a parent. And food is medicine. And if you think about it this way, if there are reactions to food grown on this planet, it really doesn't make sense that they'd cause problems. And I should point out too that cutting out junk and processed food isn't what we're talking about with an elimination diet. I'm a huge fan of treats and they have a place in any healthy diet. But what we're talking about is when you're already feeding your child healthy whole real foods and those seems to be triggering reactions, that's where the dots don't connect because that shouldn't be happening. And I'm often asked then, why does everyone recommend taking foods out of the diet? I really don't know. I feel like food has become an easy scapegoat. It's something that's easy to control. And when people initially remove foods, they can have some symptom relief for a time, but then symptoms come back. So it's interpreted that more foods need to come out and it really becomes a vicious cycle. And I guess because there tends to be an initial improvement, people think that they need to kind of keep going that route. And it's very misleading and it can be problematic because unnecessary food eliminations can lead to undernourishment, fear of food, and really disordered eating habits and a negative relationship with food for life. And I've seen these patterns developing in kids way younger than any of us want to believe. And your child's body runs off nutrients from foods they eat, and kids need nutrients in order to build and repair healthy skin, as well as to grow, develop, function, and thrive. And when nutrients are missing, the body doesn't have the fuel it needs to do everything it's supposed to do. And I know it's counterintuitive to what you've been led to believe, which is if you take more and more foods out of the diet, that the skin's going to heal. But I'll tell you, like over and over again in my practice, I've seen kids' symptoms get worse the smaller the diet has gotten. And when we start adding foods, things start to improve. And think of it this way, it's like not putting your gas in your car or charging your car, or whatever kind of car you have nowadays, but it's like not fueling your car and expecting it to run better. It's not going to. So if you've been scratching your head trying to figure out what foods to take out next, this is your permission to stop chasing foods because food is not the root cause of the problem.